said, more human impactful projects will be committed to commissioned before the end of this administration. Now, as an Akwa Ibom, first and foremost, how do you feel that we are 35 years as a people since the creation of the state?
Let me use this opportunity once again to congratulate the governor of Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency Mr. Udom Emmanuel, and his team, and everyone who are from Akwa Ibom and our well-wishers, including those who have saved the state as administrators and those who have saved as past governors. Akwa Ibom at 35, I will say that the state has made a lot of improvement. I normally assess the state growth when we came into democratic dispensation beginning from 1999. Why do I always assess it from this period? Because this is when you can actually hold the government accountable. This is when you say you have the people's government that can actually speak the tone, the languages of the people. The other administrations, we are military government, you cannot actually hold them accountable. You do not have the law-making arm of the government, so nobody can actually account to what came into the government and how the government utilized those funds. But from the 1999 till today, we have been able to track our government project and know how much came into the states and know how the funds are used. Now, from 1999 till 2007, the Attah administration came up with a master plan for Akwa Ibom State, designed several projects, allocate them to various areas in the across the states. Some of them, were the Meridian project, the Meridian, which is today Ibom Icon Hotel, the Victor Attah International Airport. You have the AXU, that is Akwa Ibom State University, which was then known as the CRUTEC, Akwa Ibom State Science and Tech University. Then you have the motor parks that were built in, one at Nongudo, one at the Abak Road end, one at Itam. And this were to decongest the motor parks within the city. And then he designed the plaza. And so you have several projects littered across the states. After the Attah's government, you had the Obong Barrister Gospel Akpabio's administration from 2007 to 2015. Obong Akpabio had also built on Obong Attah's administration project. The only project that I can say that the Akpabio's government did not take over or inherit from the Attah's government was the Science Park project. But every other project that the Attah's government initiated, such as like the Le Meridian, which is now the Ibom Icon, the airport project, and several other projects that the Attah's government initiated were taken over by the government that came after him, which is the government of Akpabio, and built upon. From 2015 till date, Akpabio had led several projects, like you talk about the 4 Point by Sheraton Hotel, the e-library, the shopping mall, that is the Tropicana, which is now the Market Square, and a lot of other projects across the state, road projects, flyover here and there. And after the Akpabio's government, you had the Mr. Emmanuel's government came on board from 2015 till date, and the government has also built on the Akpabio's projects. Like the Market Square today was it was Akpabio's dream project, which is today taken over by the government and handed over to private sector, which is now the Market Square. The e-library today has been handed over to private sector, which was the Akpabio's government, Akpabio's initiative. The 4 Point by Sheraton Hotel, this government has also inherited it and is working towards completing it. The Uyo Ikodekpene Road, this government took over from where Akpabio government stopped and completed it and commissioned it and put to use. Several other projects across the state. Now, I took time to explain that we have a continuity of projects in the state. Why do we have abandoned projects? Is when a government, initiate a project and bring in politics into it. The Science Park project is one project that would have, created more employment for the people of the state, but politics came into it, and that is why I don't know. That is why the Akpabio's government, did not, take it serious, left it at the level it was. The government of Mr. Emmanuel came on board and brought in another company that want to come and, build on it. But the COVID-19, pandemic came and caught up with the project. So several other projects that are there on board, and I pray that this project will be completed. We in CLO, we took pains to go around the state to see what the governor has done in 7 years. And I tell you that we saw over 55 roads across the 31 local government areas. We saw the industry that the governor initiated. We went around it and we are comfortable that people have been employed. But mostly the indigenous of the state play politics by asking petty questions such as, why are these industries decided in Ona? Why is it this? Who is the owner? Like the Ibom Air that came on board, instead of us to utilize the opportunity and get trained as as captains, as air steward, air hostess, and the rest, we are busy talking about the politics of who is the owner of Ibom Air, who is the owner of the flour mill company, who is the owner of the syringe factory. Why these projects are in this state that we should catch into it. The Mishak automobile plant that will be building cars in this state have been completed. I think they will be sending over 20 persons to Israel for training, courtesy the partnership that they have with the state government. They have done the screening. They have selected those that will be going for the training. All these are done under the government of Udom. I'm not here to blow his trumpet, but because we engage in constructive criticisms, we criticize based on fact, I can say that we are satisfied so far where the state is as a state under Governor Emmanuel, under Attah, and under Godswill Akpabio.
All right, thank you very much. But let's look at the sidelines of the reactions coming from a cross-section of Akwa Ibom State. We know that the present administration has been involved in a lot of projects and has carried out a lot of projects. But one of the things that one cannot neglect, seeing as the state celebrated its 35th anniversary, is the fact that the Oron axis has significantly seemed to have been relegated to the back, as often cited by some quarters. We recall that the only access road leading to Oron is presently still under construction. And so far, the governor has not told the people of Oron if that road would also be completed for usage before the end of his administration. So far, the statement has not come from the government. And of course, you know that the road has been under construction for quite a good number of years, almost 7 years, and still running. Now, in this regards, there have also been another call from a cross-section of Akwa Ibom people that infrastructural development should not be centered on the city in the immediate Uyo surrounding and the suburbs, while the interior or the sub-local government areas remained in gross abandonment. You also had sections of, particularly coming from the eastern of Bolo, where they've also decried the fact that they have been marginalized in terms of infrastructural development from this present administration and successive administration. Now, as a person who is actively involved in, negotiations for the overall interest of the well-being, how would you react to this outcry by some sections of Akwa Ibom people?
It is not out of place. Their agitations are obvious and they are acknowledged. We, during the tour that the CLO embarked upon to track the government project, we complained about the Insidetai Okobo road. That is the one you're talking about, the only road that leads to Oron from this axis. You also have the east road that comes from Eket.
Yes, that's another road that is still.
That is the federal government road that has been abandoned. So the CLO decried the fact that the Insidetai Okobo road has been taken more than necessary. Let me state this, that when the former commissioner for works, Ifrem Yarayen, went to the House of Assembly to defend the budget of the ministry, I remember Right Honorable Mark said, the member representing Israel, taking upon him, asking him, putting him on the task as to why that road has been delayed. And he gave his own side of the story, and then the House of Assembly gave a marching order that road be completed. But the pains I have in this state is what CLO is doing. If we have an assembly that is doing the same, if we have a House of Assembly that is very active, that will be on the street, not only when you have budget proposal before you, you now begin to cross-check if the budget, what you have in the budget has been done by going to check projects of the government. If the assembly have been carried out the oversight functions by going on the street, going on the road, going to places, they would have been able to mandate or direct the government to do what the government needs to do based on what is available in the budget. So the incident at Akwa Ibom Road has delayed more than necessary, and we don't know why it has delayed. Last time we went there doing our project tracking, we saw the engineer handling the project, and we asked him, what is the challenge? Have you not been funded? Is it funds or what? And the man actually did not give us a satisfactory response. But beyond that, in Oro Nation as a whole, apart from Morocco, that I can say that we did not see a project. The other local government areas in Oro, we saw projects that were built by this government, and I believe that the government will be going around to commission them.
All right, thank you very much. Let's jump to the basic motions that we have on the floor of the House now. Census 2023 is around the corner, and the Census Commission, the National Population Commission, had told the Nigerian people that the census that will be conducted in the year 2023 is meant to ensure that we can authoritatively know the exact number of people that we have in Nigeria, so as to help government and other relevant agencies to know how to plan in the overall best interest of the Nigerian people. Now, they've also told us that the census will demarcate covering the entire territories space of Nigeria using mobile handheld devices and geographical information system GIS and satellite imageries to create the digital census map, and of course use a lot of technology to ensure that at the end of the day the total number of people we have is exactly the total number of people that Nigeria has. And now presently it is projected that the population of Nigeria is over 216 million plus in Nigeria across the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. Now, in the bid for preparations, we know there have been ongoing meetings between relevant government agencies within and outside the state. And we understand that CLO has been having some meetings with the commission in Akwa Ibom State and the stakeholders in Akwa Ibom State ahead of the summit that is planned. Can you bring parliamentarians and, of course, Akwa Ibomites up to speed with the current development in the subsector?
The National Population Commission is a body mandated by law, by our constitution, to carry out head count of persons in Nigeria, so as to enable the government to know how many persons we are, and that will also help in national planning and budgeting. Don't forget that when the government or when the federal government want to share allocations to states, one thing that is very key, the key determinant in what goes to a state is population. Most times you will hear the people from the north saying they are much in number than us. If you want to ask for a state creation, what will be used as a factor will be the number of your people. If you want to ask for local government creation, for ward creation, same thing. Even village creation, same thing. So National Population Commission will be having a stakeholders meeting on Wednesday, that is tomorrow, at the Akpabio Udom Hall in the Government House, where they will be discussing issues that centers around 2023 census that is coming on April. The CLO yesterday had a meeting with the federal commissioner of the commission, that is Engineer Benedict Tukpong, and he took time to explain to us that the National Stakeholders Summit took place at the Aso Rock Villa, where President Buhari chaired it and declared it open on the 11th of August this year. And so now the entire states are asked, the state commissions are asked to go and have state summit. So what this summit intends to achieve is to create public awareness on the conduct of the 2023 census, including its imperatives, methodology, and timeline. They will also promote robust and informed conversation on the process and procedure for the census that will be carried out in the state. And then they will to provide a veritable platform to offer clarification and receive feedback and suggestions on salient issues and concerns related to the conduct of the census that will be taking place in this country. So I want to say that Akwa Ibom people should be part of it. The state government should be part of it. I want to call on the state government to support the commission to achieve this success in this state. Now, let me tell you this: if we play like a radical attitude and feel as if we're not part of what is happening in the census commission, at the end of the day, census will be carried out. By the time it is done, when your state is shortchanged, the highest thing you do is to go to court or go on appeal. But instead of spending money, taking lawyers to go to court and begin to, make agitations, make campaigns, protest here and there, you can start now. Take those energies, those resources, involve, engage, create awareness that your people should be aware. The village heads, the youth leaders, town criers, paramount rulers, clan heads, commissioners, and chairmen of councils should be all involved in ensuring that we have a successful census in 2023, that we should be counted for, and we should be counted and let our figure be known, not just being shortchanged. We should get the actual figure of who we are and how many we are in Akwa Ibom State, so that by the time the figure will be published, nobody will go and dispute it anywhere.
Indeed, that is a very necessary action that must be taken by not just the government, but also all relevant government agencies. And indeed, the people, I recall in 2006, I was part of the ad hoc staff of the census, and one of the problems we saw was the fact that you step into a household, for instance, and you get to find it that parents who know for sure their children are not around, or even people who have children outside the state didn't thought it wise to bring their children home. And some of the top officials that came from the national did not allow or give room for a situation where you get to say, okay, I have 6 children. They want to see those 6 children. Okay, I have 6 children, and those 6 children have two children each. They want to see the children and the children they have before they can be documented. So how, I think it's about time we take our first recess, but when I come back, I'd like for you to answer as to how we as a people in Akwa Ibom State, what responsibility we have, and we must ensure so that we have the exact number of people when we go into 2023 when the census gets conducted and done. Right about now, parliamentarians will take our first recess and head out to take news of the hour of 9. When we come back, we'll continue with our discussions on the floor of the House. Please stay with us.